The 17th edition of the Ronde van Drenthe marks the 6th round of the UCI Women's World Tour. 19 teams heading to the north of the Netherlands, 109 riders ready to battle the traditional windy conditions. Defending champion Wiebes hoping to make it 4 in a row. 158 kilometres of racing and no less than 6 ascents of the famous Vanberg.
What's your expectation for the team today?
There's quite some wind, so I think we'll play a big role, and we have a really good team to ride some echelons here, and I think it will be really hard with multiple cards to play, and of course we have the 3 times defending champion of this race, so it would actually be really nice if she could make it a 4th.
The peloton would roll out of the start town of Bijlen, and it was Team DSM Firmenich PostNL who were the driving force. De May broke away from the peloton, her lead 1 minute with 100 kilometres to go. A combination of the narrow roads and the windy conditions saw the peloton split with 70 kilometres remaining. After almost 70 kilometres in a solo breakaway, Belgian De May was caught with 38 kilometres to go. A stretched out peloton, and it was the penultimate ascent of the Vanberg, and informed Puck Pieterse accelerated, and only 5 riders were able to stay with the Dutch superstar. Over the top, the pace didn't relent, and 8 riders had a small advantage. Coming into the final kilometres, the group working well together, but there were still teams who'd missed this group, Uno X Mobility being one. The groups merging together into the closing kilometres, and it was all getting set for the final ascent of the Vanberg. Team DSM Firmenich PostNL amassing themselves up towards the front, trying to protect their sprinter Charlotte Kool. The tension starting to build, and it was the British champion Pfeiffer Georgie who was in control, gaps starting to open up in the wheels behind. The Luxembourgish champion Christine Majerus is setting up her sprinter Wiebes. Balsamo is right on the wheel, a little gap to Pieterse, and there is Paternoster. Trying to move up is Guazzini for FDJ Suez, and this is a monster lead out by Majerus. She delivers Wiebes, and there is the immediate acceleration. Balsamo desperately trying to hold onto the wheel. Nobody else is in the frame. There's daylight starting to open up. Several bike links later, it's 4 in a row and the rock star wins. Wiebes wins Ronde van Drenthe.
Tell me about your race. Were you confident enough to make it all the way to the finish line without having a breakaway out there?
Yes, also, but it was a bit, when we went out for the breakaway and we heard that the peloton came closer, it's always, you need to take care of the crosswinds that they not surprise us from behind, but it worked out all good, and the team did a really good job, and especially Christine with the last lead out, she put me in perfect position.
A couple of years ago we spoke and he said I'm going to prove that I do very well uphill. That worked out pretty well.
Well, that's the part of moving to Limburg, it helps. I train more on the small climbs, and I'm enjoying that also more than the flat.
And what's next for you now?
No parcours.
Good luck there.
Thank you.
Wiebes wins ahead of Balsamo, and Puck Pieterse taking her first World Tour podium. Lotte Kopecky, despite not being at the race, continues to lead the UCI Women's World Tour rankings. And there's a change in the UCI Women's World Tour Youth ranking. Puck Pieterse leads the blue jersey ahead of Van Anrooy.